All right, folks, no mucking around. Let's do this. I am your presenter and host, Murray Stewart, and this is episode 1051 of Blind Magic in Alice Springs. Well, yesterday I spoke about a little challenge that I'm having in terms of increasing my medication and the tiredness that comes with it. But I also said that I was going to put on nice and tight my positive hat, and so I have. This morning, I left the house relatively early and went off to a wonderful lecture, tutor, workshop, or whatever you want to call it, and the presenter was a wonderful bloke called Michael, another myotherapist. Good bloke, real good bloke. And I've just come back from the class once again because of the tiredness that I'm suffering, and that's all good. They knew my circumstances. The organiser, Fiona Gordon, a good friend of mine, was very accommodating. And as I said, so too was Michael. What I was impressed with where Michael was concerned was the fact that his intuition was very good when it comes to inclusion, practices of inclusion. And so when it came to demonstrations of the various techniques, so the subject matter was in relation to myofascial release of conditions of the cervical and TMJ region. And when he was demonstrating the tactile techniques, who was the model? Yeah, it was me. And of course, in a sense, it has to be, because the only way that I can pick up these techniques is by actually experiencing them. He knew that, I knew that, and so away we went. And so I feel extra knowledgeable now when it comes to the techniques, and I will be able to therefore apply them in my practice if they are so required. The other good thing about going along to today's workshop was just breaking the cycle. That's right, getting out of the house, reconnecting with the people that I had in some ways probably neglected to stay in touch with for a very long time. Even in a small town, that happens. We either meet one another at a workshop or at the local show here. Yeah, that's how it works. So it was great to catch up with some good friends, particularly Fiona. She's like me. She cannot help herself. It's just got to be organising things all the while. A great community person is Fiona here in Alice Springs, and a great tactile therapist. Yeah, look her up if you're in town, Fiona Gordon, and you do need some treatment. She's very good at what she does, and she's got a great manner about her as well. Yeah, caught up with a few others in the tactile therapy industry, so it was great just to break the cycle. And although I have come back a little disappointed that I couldn't see the day through, and the same I'm sure will be tomorrow, just got to manage this situation. Despite that, I feel great that I was able to get out and, as I said, reconnect with some people. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. It just puts a little bit of vim back into your step. It does. And so thank you to Michael for coming up from, I gather you're from Melbourne, and thank you to Fiona for organising this. Wonderful stuff. And I highly recommend, folks, if you're in a bit of a ditch, then haul yourself out of it, get out in the world and reconnect. It'll do you so much good. It will. And it won't cost you a lot of money. No, it won't. And even if it does, it'll be so worthwhile, because, of course, the other alternative is a little bit of retail therapy. That can do you a little good too, particularly if it's something that makes you feel good. You know what I find? Buying a pair of shoes or even grabbing yourself a haircut. That can make you feel really good. Yeah, brand new. Yeah, restarts the engine, as they say. And talk about that. My little puppy dog, my little Sainter this afternoon, is currently receiving his summer groom. Oh, yes, he is. He's going to get shorn nice and deep. He will. He'll come back almost naked, will my little Sainter. He might be just a little cool tonight, but once he gets through that, it'll do him so much good because he does have the most beautiful thick silk. And so now that it's summertime here in Central Australia, dogs like him absolutely need to be groomed down. They do. So as they can be wonderful and comfortable and relaxed. And so they can find those little spots that dogs seem to be able to find to ensure that their temperature stays as it should. Yeah, they're very clever at that, aren't they? They don't need to be told. They've got an instinct for it. Yeah, he'll be, I've got no doubt, getting himself down off the couch and off the bed and straight onto the tiles, where it'll be lovely and cool for him. And he'll keep himself nice and hydrated. Yeah, they're very, very sensible, are our furry friends. And then after I greet Sainter, I'll be off to do some duties with one of the local candidates here, as it's election day here in the Northern Territory. I love election day. I truly do. We're so lucky to live in a democracy where we do have the right to vote, and therefore we have the right to question what our governments are up to. And that's why election day in Australia, or anywhere in Australia, is something that we should guard with everything we have. It's very precious to us, having the right to vote. And yes, it does mean you have a right then to have a bit of a whinge about what your local candidates are up to, or indeed what your government is up to. Yeah, it does. It's a bit of a down payment on your right to have your say to get things done. So if you are in the Northern Territory and you are voting today, go and vote with a smile on your face, because we're very, very lucky in this country to have the right to vote, and we're very privileged. And so, yeah, smile as you cast your vote. And when you walk out, realise that you have exercised your power. You most definitely have. And I'm looking forward to coming home tonight and having a bit of a listen to the votes unfolding. I might pop it on Sky News and have a listen to their broadcast, and that way I can keep abreast as to exactly what the Northern Territorians have decided. Yeah, it's a very special day, as I say, very, very special. That's it, folks. This has been episode 1051, a Blind Magic Communications production.